Hello and welcome to Blythe Business News. We're doing something a little bit different in this edition because rather than talking to a particular company about their operations, we're actually celebrating the inaugural International Day of Women in Mining. And I'm delighted we've been joined by Louis Wrathall from Central Asia Metals Limited, sometimes known as CAML. Louise, I want to be careful how I phrase this because you've been involved in the mining industry for a number of years, shall we say. Now, you've recently been appointed to the board, the main board of CAML. Can you talk us through your journey, how you got to this point, and give us, if you will, a career highlight?
Thanks, Tim, and hi. Yes, I've been involved in the mining industry for about 20 years now. So at university, I studied geology and then mining, and I spent my initial years in my career in Cumbria in the quarrying industry before moving to London, where I was a mining equity analyst for 10 years. I very much enjoyed the job, the financial and the capital market aspects, but after I had my son, I found the very early morning starts quite difficult in terms of childcare, quite challenging. So when he was 2, I left that job, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and went down the investor relations path. So I've been working for Central Asia Metals now since 2015, initially doing IR, and the role has grown really. So in my board role, I'll be responsible for investor relations still, also for business development, and also for our ESG reporting strategy and general direction as well. My career highlight has absolutely been joining the CAML board. I'm really excited for the future and really grateful as well for the board of directors for having the faith in me and giving me the opportunity.
Now, you are one of 2 women on the CAML board, but just talk us through what is Central Asia Metals doing to improve gender diversity across the company. Have you got initiatives in place? What can you tell us about those?
Yeah, sure. So I think we probably all know traditionally gender diversity has been quite a challenge in our sector. But in the last few years in particular, I have actually been really encouraged by lots of the initiatives that I've seen globally in the sector, particularly from groups such as Women in Mining. We've got about 20% women at our operation in Kazakhstan. It's a little bit lower than that in North Macedonia. So I think there are some improvements that we can look to make. So last year we set up some diversity and inclusion committees at both of our sites to first start the process by seeing if there's any, I suppose, sort of easy wins that we can do to make ourselves a more attractive employer to women. So we got some good ideas from that and we'll be implementing those throughout 2022. We've also set ourselves some specific targets as well. I suppose the key one really is a 25% increase in our female employees by 2025. We've also, last year, we put some of our female employees through the International Women in Mining Mentoring Programme. We put another 4 through that this year. And also our CEO, CFO and our Sustainability Director have also volunteered themselves as mentors as well to also give back to that process.
Louise, I mean, within your career, I'm sure you've been to some very interesting places, but what is your favourite place that you've been to?
Yeah, I have, and I think travel is probably one of the more enjoyable aspects of the mining industry. I mean, me particularly, I absolutely love travel. I love seeing different landscapes, and I really enjoy learning a little bit about different cultures as well. So yes, particularly when I was an equity analyst, I travelled the world a lot, visited lots of interesting and sometimes off the beaten track places, and I've genuinely enjoyed visiting all of them. Nowadays, my travel is mainly limited to attending conferences and also visiting our 2 sites. But I have to say, I think we're pretty fortunate where we are in Kazakhstan and North Macedonia, because we've got 2 great countries there, both with their own beauty and both with fascinating cultures. So more than happy that most of my travel is to those locations.
Okay, just to wrap up, you as you said, you've been in the mining industry for a number of years. One thing, please, what is your career? This is a difficult question, I accept. What's your career taught you so far? And then what advice would you give to a young woman, a young man? What would you give advice to thinking about starting a career in the mining industry?
Well, I think there's never been a dull moment in my career. I think so. My advice to anybody thinking about starting a career in the mining industry would absolutely be to go for it. There's a huge variety of varied careers as well within the mining industry, so there's lots and lots of opportunities. But I think most importantly, there's never been a more exciting and crucial time to join the mining industry. You can genuinely effect a change in the world, producing commodities that are essential for, for our modern lives, moving the world forward, for, electric vehicle revolution and the energy transition, none of which can happen without the mining industry. So I think all in all, it offers an exciting career and one where you can genuinely feel like you're making a positive impact.
Louise, thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the inaugural International Day of Women in Mining. That was Louis Wrathall, Director of Central Asia Metals Limited, and that's it from this edition of Blythe Ray Business News. Thanks for watching.